All right, guys, we're back here with Wiggles in Yakima, Washington. How's it going, Wiggles?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. How old are you?
I'm 25.
How long have you been out here in the struggle?
Well, in the struggle of addiction in general, what is it, 15 years? But on the streets, about 2 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you struggle as well with like anorexia and stuff like that?
No, I've had a drastic weight loss, I think from A, health issues, B, the struggle of not always having the resources to find food or money to obtain food, or there being places that help serve the homeless. I'm from Seattle, and I've only been in Yakima for like 2.5 weeks now. But in Seattle, there's places all day where you can get fed, and out here in Yakima, there's really just nothing. There's like one gospel mission, but other than that, and sometimes they don't even have food, and it really sucks.
So what you're saying is you've never really struggled with like anorexia or nothing like that. It's just a struggle to get food out here.
Yeah.
Huh? So what brought you out here from Seattle?
My mother, I hadn't talked to her in a while, and I was avoiding them because I was ashamed and embarrassed of how bad my fentanyl addiction has gotten, and how deep I've gotten into this lifestyle. And so I was avoiding her because I didn't want to break her heart even further. And I accidentally sent her a picture of me, and she said, "Oh my God, you're getting so skinny, like you're gonna die." And she said, "I'm not even gonna show your dad." Because he wanted to see, and she wouldn't even show him because it was so heartbreaking for her to see the drastic weight loss and how deathly ill I look. And it's I don't even like looking in a mirror now. It just hurts my heart to see like the abuse that can go on, to yourself, and how how the state really takes a toll on you. It's just really sad, and so.
So how was your childhood?
It was good. My parents, I had two stable living parents. My father, he was a correctional officer in Seattle, and then my mom was going to school to be a nurse. She's an RN now. It was a good, loving environment. I was adopted though when I was younger, and I struggled a lot with that. I struggled a lot with my identity of knowing who I am and where I come from, and I was socially awkward because I was homeschooled when I was younger, and I didn't have any friends. So when I did go to school, when I was in high school, I only went for 1 year, so really I only had 1 year of education in 9th grade. And it was terrible for me because I started drugs when I was 10, and so I didn't mix in well, already being socially awkward and then being on drugs when you get into school. And kids are mean as it is, so it was torture. It was just, I hated it.
So I'm assuming you started doing drugs at 10 then, right?
Yeah, 10.
How did it begin for you?
My brother was actually a heroin addict, and he was doing heroin and crack and meth. And we were driving home from Everett one day, and he asked me to hold the steering wheel for him. And I was bugging him about it. I was like, what is it like? What does it do to you? Like, does it get you high? Is it like marijuana? What does it do? I was just being an annoying little sister. And he didn't have the, I guess, not maturity, but he didn't have the capacity to think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't give this to my little sibling. He just jumped on it and said, okay, you can try a little bit of it, and so find some foil, and I'll make you a tutor out of the straw, and don't burn it. I'll show you how to light it, and you're only gonna do a little bit, so make sure you don't hurt yourself, and you're gonna do it with me. But yeah, so because he had to do a shot in the car, and I was just bugging him about it. I was infatuated with it. I was interested, and I wanted to be cool like him, and I thought it was cool and glamorous, and I quickly learned that it's not.
So that was heroin, right?
Yeah.
How long ago did you start doing the blues?
I did the blues for like 2 years. I've been on the fentanyl powder now for like 2 years now. So let's see.
How much are the blues going for in Yakima right now?
Shit, like $5. It's
$5,
ridiculous.
huh?
Yeah, but in Seattle they're like 30 cents a piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at street value's $1. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't
in Seattle.
know that. How many times have you overdosed before?
Once.
How was that experience?
It's It's a very strange experience because on the powder, you can fall asleep and you'll see people like just kind of like this, sleeping. But it's weird because you'll sleep like that, you'll fall out, and you'll wake up like this 6 hours later, and it's like, whoa, I just missed this whole gap of time. And you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know you fell asleep at all, whatsoever. You sometimes you wake up in different places, or with different people around. Your stuff is stolen. I've woken up with my pants on my ankles, and laying on the side of the road, not knowing where I am. It's really scary with this stuff because you never know what you're gonna get.
So being a woman on the streets, how much more challenging would you consider it being a woman out here?
Extremely challenging, extremely dangerous, and extremely difficult. I think that's another reason I'm skinny too, is I'm always on the go. There's never any downtime. There's never any relaxation. No, my heart's always like this. I'm always unaware. I'm always got eyes in the back of my head. I'm always, trying to keep myself safe, and that's hard enough as it is being tiny. And just being exhausted and depleted from surviving constantly. You're in survival mode 24/7 for that amount of time. I mean, as a year and a half, there's no downtime. There's no break. That it's so strenuous on the body. To have the drugs are a lot on the body, and then you add in survival mode 24/7, not being able to get resources and food, and just so many different things at once, and always go. There's no relaxation. I have to sleep behind dumpsters and sleep on the sidewalk and whatnot. And shivering makes you lose weight too. It's a lot. So yeah, it's another reason I'm skinny. But it's really, really extremely rough. It's extremely depleting, and it's dehumanizing, honestly.
For sure.
It's extremely dehumanizing.
Where did you sleep last night?
Behind the dumpster, right here.
Where at?
Right here, behind Jack in the Box.
Oh, behind Jack in the Box. Do you usually sleep by yourself or with a group of people?
By myself.
By yourself? Do you feel like that's safer, being by yourself?
I feel like if I'm with another girl that I trust, which is few and far between. I mean, there's probably only one other girl out here that I kind of know and I'm starting to trust. But other than that, like, I've been hurt by women too. I've been, they want to set me up and take me into, part of the trafficking trade. Like,
yeah.
You never know who you're talking to on the street. You never know what somebody's mental state is at. Like, you never know who they know. Like,
for sure.
It's very extremely dangerous. So I feel like it's better to be by myself to fall asleep. I find a place to hide, and that way no one knows where I am, so they can't steal my stuff, and they can't find me, and they can't hurt me. And that seems safest. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to go through detox before?
Multiple times, probably over 30 times.
And what happens every time? Like,
I don't know what the missing piece is. That's why I'm still out here. I don't know what my heart is needing. I don't know what my soul is lacking, because obviously it's something in here and in here that I don't have, or I feel like I feel like I need. I feel like there's an empty hole in me, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what I need to pinpoint to get right, or what I need to do for myself to say, hey, I'm worth it, and this is not the lifestyle for me. Because I say that to myself all the time, but I don't put in the action behind it.
For sure.
It's a struggle. It really is. I think it's just because out here it's lacking in support system. So, like, I don't feel like I have anyone to support me or talk to or care about me, or like that gets really hard.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why.
What's your message for children out there that are going through a struggle, that are contemplating doing drugs, if they're going through a down moment? What's your message for them?
Don't do it. Talk to a family member. Talk to somebody. People out there do care, and I feel like it's easier when you are not on drugs to get resources and get things that you need and get people to listen to you. Just unfortunately, that's how it is when you are in this state and when you live this lifestyle. People tend to put you in a box and judge you and treat you a certain way just because you look a certain way, or because you are affiliated with the homeless or with this scene. People will treat you a certain way. So just don't let it get to this point, because it's extremely hard to get out of. Just when you're young, and if you're contemplating it, it's not cool, it's not fun, the fun of it goes away so quickly. Like, your friends don't care about how many drugs you have. Like, they just care about, I mean, just don't even start, don't touch it, don't even, it's not cool, it's not glamorous, it's not fun. It really, there's no fun of it. It becomes, you become dependent on it physically, and it's miserable because you become a slave to it, and it's not a lifestyle I would recommend to anybody.
Wiggles, do you have any children?
My daughter passed away last year.
What?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Fetal withdrawal syndrome. I found out that I was pregnant when I went into the emergency room because I started to be able not to walk very well, and I was pushing a walker around.
Yeah.
And I was starting to be able to have incontinence, so I was peeing myself, and I was having a lot of issues at my back. I couldn't stand up straight. I was always in pain. I was having a lot more seizures, and I was losing my hair. And so I went to the emergency room, and I was like, I'm really sick, and I was losing so much weight. I was like, I'm really sick. I don't know what's wrong with me. I haven't had a blood test or anything, checkup, nothing in like a year. Can somebody just do some blood tests, do some scans, tell me, just maybe a blood test will tell me what's going on. And I gave them I told them like what some of my symptoms were, and they were like, well, let's test for some pregnancy. There's a possibility you could be pregnant. And I was like, oh, no way. And they did, and they did an ultrasound, and lo and behold, there's a little whoop whoop was the heartbeat, and I was like, what the fuck? It was a really freaky moment for me. I was alone too, so it was very, I felt like the room was closing in. It felt very like cold and very like everything went dark. Like I felt like I was in just a silent dark room, and I just alone with that thought of what the hell is going to happen. Like, what do I do from here? So I called my mom, and she came out to the hospital the next day, but by that point it was too late. They came back in a couple hours later and were doing more tests on me and whatnot. They did another ultrasound, and the technician was like, hey, I'll be right back. Just wait here a minute. And then I was like, is everything okay? And I had to come back, or he came back in with the doctor, and the doctor was like, we're going to unhook your leads, and we're going to take you up to emergency surgery. We're going to do emergency C-section because we lost the heartbeat. And then they found out later from tests and whatnot that they came to the final conclusion that it was fetal withdrawal syndrome because I was going through withdrawals. I was sick when I went to the hospital. I didn't have anything that day, so she passed away.
How far along were you in pregnancy, do you know?
40 weeks. I was 40 weeks. I was about to give birth.
Wow.
So it was by the grace of God and by chance. I don't know what pushed me to go that day specifically because it was literally at the 40-week mark. So I don't know what. Yeah, but
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to do dates out here in the streets?
Yes.
And what kind of dangers have you faced having to do that?
Oh God, so many. It really has made me look at people differently, especially men, and I hate to say that, but especially men.
Sure.
It's made me look at people differently, and I can't trust them anymore. I can't trust even a normal, regular, average Joe, because that's usually who comes through. That's usually who wants to, buy your services or use your body basically. And so it's really freaky because I've seen people just flip from one personality to another in a blink of an eye because they don't get what they want, or because they're frustrated with you, or they feel like they aren't being satisfied and you don't do what they want. Then they can get violent, or somebody people try to kill me. I've had people like just do egregious, dehumanizing, scary, disgusting, vulgar things to me that should never happen to a person, let alone just somebody as young as me and as small. It's just sick. It's very sick. It's heartbreaking, and people out here and the girls out here that do it and that say that they make good money, or that they like that they make such good money, or it's easy for them. It's a front. It's a lie. It's I can see the pain in their eyes, and I've been there too, and I'm also a woman, so I know what it's like, and it's nothing short of disgusting and disturbing, but it is a means to an end. It's survival, and that's one of the only ways out here, being as a woman, that we can really make money, unless if we're flying a sign or asking for change. People don't necessarily want to help. You can walk up to someone's window at their car to try and ask even what the time is, and they'll roll up their window and they'll flip you off and say, get away from me. They roll up the window and try and pull their stuff away, like, oh no, I don't have anything for you, go, acting like we're going to steal them or hurt them or something. And then that in itself is extremely heartbreaking.
Hey, Wiggles, what message do you have for family or friends if they end up seeing this video?
Just next time that you see a homeless person on the side of the road or one tries to approach you, we're people too. We're no different. The only difference is we don't have a roof over our heads, and that we struggle with different things other than you. We just have a couple of differences, but we're still people. I'm still a woman to woman. I'm still a woman, man to man. I'm still a person. I still have feelings. I still have a heart. I'm still human. I still need basic needs. Like, I still need to eat. I still need to be safe. I still need to drink water. I still need to have clothes. Just try and put yourself in the person's shoes next time that you see them, because we're people too. And just try to be aware next time you see a homeless person that we have feelings and that we're people. Just keep that in mind.
I appreciate your time, Wiggles. Would you be okay with doing an update video in the future?
Of course. I would love that.
Would you be okay with me posting this on my YouTube channel?
Of course.
Sweet. Thank you, man.
Yeah.